Hey, this is Sue with Travel Changes Life, and today I thought we might talk about the South Pacific Islands because it's a place that people think about going their whole lives. Um, Tahiti and Moorea, Bora Bora, all of those South Pacific Islands. But first, let's take a look about where they are. So I'm going to share my screen and pull up some information about that. Okay, so this one, let's see if I can move it over to the middle. So where is the South? Where are those wonderful, magical South Pacific Islands that people talk about going to? Well, they are south of Honolulu. So these are called the Society Islands, the Cook Islands, all of Fridge Polynesia, all right in this area. As you can see, you're north of New Zealand, northeast of New Zealand, northeast of Australia, and southwest of Mexico in Baja California. But the easiest way for us to remember it is to remember that it's just about straight south from Hawaii. So while Hawaii is also in the South Pacific Ocean, but the South Pacific people are, of course, in the South Pacific Ocean as well. Usually, today I'm going to talk about Paul Gauguin because Paul Gauguin keeps a ship there, and they are the experts really at showing you the South Pacific Islands. So they include several different trips to the South Pacific, and I wanted you to get oriented about what is in the South Pacific. This is actually their longest trip, which goes into the Society Islands, the Cook Islands, and also Fiji, and those are called and Tonga. So the South Pacific Islands are made up of Society Islands, Cook Islands, and then Tonga and Fiji. If you were to do this trip with them, it is their longest trip. It's 13 days, and you would cross the international date line, which falls just between those. They have shorter trips as well. Here is one that goes to the Society Islands and to Tuamotus, that you can see Tahiti, Moorea, Bora Bora, all those wonderful islands that you've heard of all your life, and then up into this area to cruise around the Tuamotus Islands. This trip is the Cook Islands and the Society Islands only, so you can see what their routing is here. And then let's see. Yep, I showed you that one. And the last one is one that is Tahiti and the Society Islands only. The ones I've heard of all my life are Wahine, Bora Bora, Moorea, and Papeete. And to do these, you would fly in and out of Tahiti, in and out of Papeete. So that's just to get you oriented as to where the South Pacific is. Now I'm going to talk specifically about Paul Gauguin Tours. It is a luxury small ship, needs to be small to be able to go around these islands. And it will seem probably pricey to you when you look at their pricing, but you need to understand it also includes your flight from LA. So the long haul flight from LA over to Papeete is included in their pricing. And that's the thing about land tours and cruise tours. You always have to really think about what are you getting for the money and what is not included, because there's the saying is it's not how much it costs to buy the trip, it's how much it costs by the time the trip is over. If there's not a lot of exclusions, your trip can double easily. Let's look at Paul Gauguin and what they do include, because the list is pretty impressive. First of all, your round trip airfare from Los Angeles. So you would have to get yourself to LA and the rest of the trip would be included. Round trip airport and pier transfers, which can often run you a couple of $100. If for two people, usually they're $100, $125 per person. Of course, as with any cruise ship, all of your shipboard meals, room service, complimentary beverages. They do also provide you an in-room refrigerator that they replenish daily. Their entertainment, presentations, they often have presentations by onboard experts and local hosts that will talk to you about the history of the South Pacific Islands. I also wanted to let you to point out that it also includes complimentary Wi-Fi throughout the ship, which is important because if you're on other cruise ships, sometimes you have to pay $200 or $300 to get Wi-Fi. So their inclusions are pretty good and really do cover pretty much everything you need when you're on the ship. I wanted to give you an aerial view of what the islands are like, and I have a little movie if I can find what I did with it. Let's see, hang on just a minute. Itself, this is the Paul Gauguin. You can see that it's a small ship and it was built specifically to go into the waters of the South Pacific, which are, you know, it's an atoll, so the waters are very shallow right around the islands. And I think here's the video I wanted you to see. This is the aerial port tours of the ports that they visit, and it gives you a beautiful view of the South Pacific. It's not that long, and I'll play it for you. There's not sound at all, but you can see this is Wahine. And look how beautiful this is. I just can't even imagine being out in the middle of the South Pacific and seeing these islands. It's just gorgeous. They're mountainous, but they also have fabulous beaches. This is Moorea, which I've always heard about all my life. And as you can see, the water is just absolutely fabulous. So I'll pause for a minute here and just let you take in the beauty of the South Pacific Islands. It does remind me of Hawaii, except that the islands are much smaller. Here's Bora Bora, which I've always heard of Bora Bora all my life. And you can see that it's both rainforest and beach. Let me talk about a little bit about the best time to go while we're looking at this video. You want to go in what is their winter. So their best season for you is our summer, which is great because it makes for a good summer getaway. So June, July, August, September are really the best months to go. People like to think about going here over Christmas, but you need to understand that while in the South Pacific, the temperature stays about the same year round, it's a rainy season. In our winter is their summer, which is their rainy season. And that means that it's going to be a lot more humid and therefore it's going to feel a lot warmer. So you want to avoid October, November, December, January, February, and probably part of March, unless you're willing to put up with the daily rains and the higher humidity. So the best time to go is really in our summer. So I thought you would get a kick out of seeing these aerial views. And this video is provided by Paul Gauguin. You can see the ship there. Okay, so that's that. Let me get that off of the screen and go back to the ship. Let's see. Okay, well, at any rate, I am booking this South Pacific trip for 2022 and 2023. So if you are interested in going in the summer of 2022, then now is the time to talk to me. These ships are small. They don't hold that many people on them, or it's just one ship and doesn't hold that many people. And they provide everything, water, you know, if you want to go paddle boarding, things like that, it's all inclusive, really. They are having a sale where you have to book by, I think, within about the next week, so before the end of August, on their sailings that are happening now all the way through next April. And I don't really advise that you go now because I think the world is just too fraught still with COVID. But they do have 2 sailings in April of 22 that are on sale at a pretty substantial discount, $3,000 or $4,000 off of their normal price. So if you're interested in April, which would be the end of their rainy season, be aware of that. Then you can get, I can book for you a pretty good deal. And then otherwise, let's look at next summer. Bill and I are thinking about going next summer. Actually, we're thinking about going in August next year. Or if we don't do that, we'll probably go in August of 2023. So this is Paul Gauguin. You can contact me, Sue at travelchangeslife.com, or you can text me 941-720-1842 if you're interested in learning more and in thinking about booking a trip with Paul Gauguin to the South Pacific, the beautiful South Pacific. And that's it for today. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.